The CDC is asking everyone eligible for a COVID-19 booster shot to get it now instead of waiting for this fall. Here to answer your questions is Dr. Shira Doron, the hospital epidemiologist at Tufts Medical Center. Dr. Doron, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
All right, Dr. Doron, as you well know, the CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, said today that she's very concerned about the risk of reinfection from the newest subvariants, BA4 and mostly BA5. Is that something that you're starting to see now at Tufts?
Well, since most people have had COVID, it's not surprising that a lot of the infections we are seeing these days are in people who had COVID before. What's a little bit different these days is that we are sometimes seeing people who've had COVID in the last 3 months get COVID again, whereas that was something that was really quite unheard of before Omicron came along with its tendency to mutate so quickly. Now, keep in mind that in the hospital, we never know what variant a given patient has. So we can't know if they have BA5 now and had BA1 before, but we can make guesses based on timing and the predominant strain at the time.
Well, talking about reinfection, a recent study looked at the health risks from testing positive for COVID more than once. It seems that we're all vulnerable to that now. What did that study find?
Well, the study's getting a lot of attention, but I don't think it shows what people think it shows. The authors concluded that people with reinfections, second, third, fourth infections, suffer higher rates of mortality, hospitalization, and other bad outcomes than people who've been infected only once. But there are many problems with the study, and it's not peer-reviewed or published, including that the reinfected people in the study had way more underlying medical conditions at baseline than the single infected people. And there was a non-standard way in which reinfection was defined. The good news is that peer-reviewed studies show that reinfections are almost always less severe than first infections.
All right, well, as you know, Dr. Doron, anybody now age 5 and older in the U.S. is eligible to get a booster shot, just one. And then Americans 50 and older can get a second one. But so far, less than half of Americans have received any booster shot. In your opinion, would that extra shot offer any protection against BA4 or BA5 right now?
Well, you know, the goal of vaccination is no longer prevention of infection or transmission. That's just not reasonable in this era of Omicron. But the vaccines prevent severe disease and death, and that's what's most important. And a booster really solidifies that protection, even in the setting of BA4 and BA5.
Well, we know Moderna, Pfizer, they've both announced they're working on an updated booster for this fall that might, take Omicron into account in a more effective way. Does it make sense to wait for that instead of getting the boosters that are available now? We know, again, the CDC said folks should get them now, but I know a lot of folks who are thinking maybe we should wait.
Well, the CDC is advising everyone who's eligible to get a booster now because there's a lot of COVID out there. And the booster helps ensure that you won't be one of those people who has a bad outcome from infection. I've heard CDC officials say that getting a booster now will not disqualify someone from getting an updated booster in the fall. And while I can't make any promises, I would not worry about a booster now affecting your eligibility or ability to get what might or might not be a better booster later.
All right, Dr. Shira Doron at Tufts Medical Center. Dr. Doron, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, doctor.